Right, please can we just start this one off by giving some very, very well-deserved praise to Mauricio Pochettino and the boys that we saw go to the Etihad today and get a 1-1 draw against Manchester City. Because do you know what? It's weird, isn't it? This season so far, some of our best performances, and I include today in that, have come in games that we haven't even won. You know, we didn't beat Arsenal in the end. We didn't manage to beat Man City in the end. But, I mean, today, it's another game that we haven't won. It's another game that, had things gone our way, had we been a little bit more clinical with the chances that we had, especially in that first half, we might have won, and we might have even been out of sight at half-time. But regardless of that, as the match goes on, you can't dwell on what has happened and what hasn't happened. The performance I saw today from those boys is really, really commendable. And it fills me with a lot of optimism, not only for the rest of the season, not only for next season once these boys have matured, but for next weekend at Wembley in the cup final against Liverpool. If we can play anything like we did in today's game, we got a real chance of winning that. But people, before we get into it, welcome back to the Joey Knight podcast. If you are new around here, at the end of the video, if you like the content and you want to see more from myself, please hit the subscribe button. This second right now, please, everyone, do me a favour, smash the like button. Let's get into it. Right, so you can see the starting 11 that Mauricio Pochettino opted for on screen right now. The centre-back pairing, Disasi and Levi Colwill. It was literally the only option we really had for that centre-back pairing. I don't think that in a game of this sort of magnitude, you can bring in Alfie Gilchrist. Obviously, Trevor Chalobah, he's been on the bench, but he hadn't appeared to this point. So I think that Disasi and Colwill were obviously the centre-back pairing that were going to be needed here. They were the one that Mauricio Pochettino picked here, and we'll speak about that pairing because I think these boys covered himself in glory today. Midfield, the way we've always seen it really. Caicedo, Enzo. Me and Josh spoke about the fact that Conor Gallagher would need to not push forward so much in this match and really be there to help them two boys out. And he must have been listening to the podcast because that is what he did. Cole Palmer, Sterling and Jackson up top. Now, obviously, they were, positioned the way you're seeing on screen now, but they were very much interchangeable. Sterling, the one that probably stayed in his position the most, but Jackson and Palmer switching from time to time, and it really worked well. Do you know what? At a glance, I'm looking at this lineup and I'm thinking, hold on, where's Nkunku? But that's the only one. That is the only admission from this lineup I was sort of not in favour of, and I looked at Raheem Sterling there and I thought, I get it. I know the reverse fixture, Raheem Sterling was, man of the match, played really, really well, but I did think that Nkunku could have started there. However, obviously, as the way the game panned out, I should say, maybe I was wrong there. Because Sterling started off quite lively, as did Chelsea. We had way better chances than I expected early on. Look, I wasn't going into this match with a lot of confidence, I know I backed the draw in my pre-match prediction, but that's just because I couldn't really bring myself to back us losing this. I didn't think we would win, if I'm being honest with you. Started off well, Sterling at one point cutting inside, testing the goalkeeper from range, but obviously it was never really massively troubling effort for Edison. The best chance of the half comes around 25 minutes into the game. We broke on Man City. Palmer finds himself in loads of space on the wing. He squares it in across to Nicholas Jackson. Now, it was similar, wasn't it, to the goal, or one of the goals that Nicholas Jackson scored against Spurs, where really you don't want to touch there. You just want to put your foot through it, side-footed, keep it low, and you got every chance at going into the back of the net. Nicholas Jackson did feel like he needed to touch, and let's be honest, the touch sort of took the chance away. As soon as he had took the touch, the likelihood of us converting that chance slashes straight in half. Jackson does get the shot away, but it is straight at the keeper. Now, another big chance in that first half. And this is what I'm saying. We could have gone in at half-time. 3 goals up or saying. Raheem Sterling, many were questioning, was he offside? Wasn't he? The flag never went up. He gets his way through the back line. Acres of space now, right? The keeper's starting to come. You got 2 options. You round the keeper or you chip it over the keeper. Sterling, I don't know what option he was going to pick, but his first touch takes it away from him. And then as Edison gets to the ball, and obviously that's another chance gone missing. 40 minutes in, Chelsea get what, let's be honest, in this game, at this point so far, we massively deserve. We did have the better of the chances, and another chance breaks free. And I'll tell you what, Nicholas Jackson pulls off a worldie here. He gets the ball on the turn, receives it and distributes it with a lovely back heel. You lot, any long-term watchers of the channel, you don't even need to be long-term, but any watchers who watch religiously to this channel will know I was very impressed by the Nicholas Jackson back heel, which led to nothing, by the way, against Crystal Palace. Well, if I was impressed by that, I'm fucking over the moon at this one because it was brilliant. Jackson gets it, back heel, he puts it on to, who did he put it on to? I think he put it on to Malo Gusto, didn't he? Or was it Cole Palmer? No. Sorry, he puts it onto Cole Palmer. He makes the run himself. Jackson runs up the wing. Then he does what I've been wanting Sterling to do, sometimes what I've been wanting him to do, and that's release the ball with no hesitation. No seeing who else is coming, just bang, releases the ball. Sterling through on goal. He cuts it back. When he cuts it back, I'm thinking, Raheem, you have got an awful trait of overcooking your dinner, my friend. This is on a plate for you. Put it in. He cuts it back. All the while, the Man City defence is getting back. They get back. But they don't get back in time because Raheem Sterling side foots it into the bottom right-hand corner of the net. Chelsea go 1-0 up. It was deserved. By no means do I feel comfortable, but by every means, my God, am I happy at this point. And obviously it goes without saying, from that goal for, 10-odd minutes or so, Man City are piling on constant pressure. But the Chelsea backline's holding up very, very well. Levi Colwill and Axel Disasi doing a really good job in there, obviously, as well as Ben Chilwell and Melo Gusto on the other sides. Caicedo getting back, giving them support. We're doing really well. We're resolute and we keep City out for now. Now, my thoughts at half-time. Again, as I say, by no means comfortable, but I'm looking at things and I'm thinking, do you know what? On another day, we could be 3-0 up at this point. Maybe should be. But you know what? On another day, maybe Man City start faster and we're not even in this game at this point. So I'm not going to look at it and be sort of pessimistic at all when I'm sort of trying to work out how I view this game at this point. As I say, I'm very, very aware that City are probably going to come back into this in the second half if the last 10 minutes of the first half's anything to go by. But also what I've learned at this point is Chelsea are catching these boys on the counter every single time. And I'll tell you what, we're a brilliant counter-attacking team, you know. We need to be a bit more clinical, but my God, did we look good on the counter today. We were getting the chances time in, time out. And if I'm Pochettino, I'm just going to say to these boys, listen, right? You've had the low block played against you this season. Not nice, is it? Do it. Go out there, do it. Park the fucking bus and bank on your ability to catch them on the counter-attack because the chances will come. They really will come on the counter-attack. And Melo Gusto, I don't, fancy Nathan Ake having any chance if he goes up against him. Obviously, down that side again, Cole Palmer, he links up lovely with Melo Gusto. So I'm really fancying our chances of getting the ball out wide, counter-attacking them hoping that Raheem Sterling or Nicholas Jackson or anyone can be in the box to convert the chances we will inevitably get in that second half. And do you know what? I wasn't really wrong. The second half starts, there's more of the same from City early on. Early pressure, piled on. Haaland had a chance he put wide. On the 55th minute, Chelsea come desperately close to going 2-0 up. Because it's another Chelsea break, it's another Sterling chance, and it's another time that Ederson keeps Man City in this game. The ball's whipped in low from Melo Gusto, the assist king recently. He keeps getting them. Didn't get one today, but doesn't matter. Whipped in low, fizzed across the box. Raheem Sterling gets on it. I don't think Sterling could have done too much better. You know, I think it was pretty good. But again, Ederson keeps him in it. Or keeps City in it, I should say. Great save. Then the ball breaks free against Ben Chilwell. The angle's very tight. I never really fancied him to score that unless he just absolutely puts his foot through it. But Ben Chilwell can't get that one in the back of the net. Ederson saves again, keeps him in it. But Chelsea's still looking troubling on the break when we get our chances. But in between these Chelsea chances, obviously it is constant Man City pressure. I get that. But we don't need to speak too much about what City did. We're not really bothered about City on this channel. But yeah, there was constant Man City pressure. Obviously another chance, 65 minutes in. Haaland breaks through on goal, left-footed shot, Petrovic, brilliant save, top sort of right-hand corner. And on the replay, you realised it was even better because actually when you look at that save, Disasi gets a foot to it, deflection, and that time of deflection goes in our favour. Later on in the match, maybe not so much so, but we'll get on to that. 70-odd minutes into the game, Palmer comes off, Chalobah comes on as we move to more of a 5 at the back. And do you know what? Obviously, look, the fact that we didn't win the match in the end, you could look at that and you could go, why did you bring our best player off, Cole Palmer off? But at that point, you know, when we're very much limited to counter-attacking chances, and I'm cool with that, I didn't expect us to be dominating possession and controlling the game at this point. When we're there and I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, we've got Nkunku on the pitch now because Sterling's come off. And actually, I was in favour of the Sterling substitution. I turned around to my pal Alfie, we were watching the game, and I said, the only problem with Sterling scoring that goal, and it's going to sound really harsh, but he probably played a full 90 now, and I actually think when a sub comes in, Nkunku needs to come on for Sterling. Pochettino was strong and brave in his decision to bring Sterling off there around the 60-minute mark or whatever. But when Cole Palmer comes off, I'm looking at things and I'm going, we've got Nkunku on the pitch, we've got Malo Gusto on the pitch, and we've got Nicholas Jackson, who's on form in this game, on the pitch. That's enough for us if we're just on counter-attacking chances. That's probably enough for us. If we're looking to control a game and pinlock a very tight, watertight defence, then maybe we need Cole Palmer there. But at this point, the way this match is going, I'm not saying we don't need Cole Palmer. Who don't need a Cole Palmer? City, clearly. But you know, at that point, I'm not too fussed about that. Yeah, about that sub. 77 minute, right? 77 minutes into the game. This is where I truly believe that Chelsea are winning this game because Haaland gets his third sitter that he's missed, yeah? The ball's whipped in by Kevin De Bruyne. It's in a perfect spot for Haaland. He just needs to get the head on it, put it on target. Because of the travel and the way the ball's going, it would have been a ping of a header. He puts it over the bar. And that's at the point when I'll start to think, do you know what? Chelsea are probably going to win this match. Everything's going in our favour now, you know. And it's at that point, someone at Sky Sports decides it's a good time to flash a graphic up on the screen, which shows that Chelsea are in the top three, or do you call it the bottom three, when it comes to goals conceded within the last 15 minutes of the game. And, you know, look, literally a couple minutes later, whoever put that graphic up was right to have a feeling to do so, because City do score. 82nd minute, the stats prove that stat was very, very credible, as Rodri smashes in a deflected effort from the edge of the box. Sickening, really. I think it deflects off Chalobah. Look, nothing really you can do about it. If it doesn't get a deflection, it goes in, and we got that many players in the box. We're looking at it thinking, why did someone not get in front of it? And obviously the downside of getting yourself in front of it is sometimes you can send the ball off course. Petrovic couldn't do anything about it. City piled on the pressure into the end of the game, but Chelsea stayed strong. Good defending. And do you know what? Again, like, how do I look at this? Is it 2 points dropped or 1 point gained? Well, if you're going on the big opportunities, and if you just watch the highlights of the match, yeah, where they condense and take away a lot of the lesser opportunities and just show the big gaping opportunities that teams had to score, you'd think that Chelsea had the better opportunities in this game. And therefore, maybe we should have won it 2-1, 3-1. But at the same time, I've got to be realistic, man. We weren't beating City. Like, I never thought we were beating City in this game. And then, when it comes into the game, we play the way we do. And be able to come away with our heads held high and go, right, okay, we got a draw at the Etihad. We've just gone 2 games unbeaten this season by the champions, by the treble winners, Manchester City. And in both times, we've had the better opportunities, maybe been the better team. I'm really happy with the boys today. Really, really happy. Because let's be honest, yeah. You know, like on the consistency we've had, I don't mean to talk Chelsea down, but on the consistency we've had, even if we go and win the game against City, you know, are we then going to go on a run? Are we then going to finish in the top 4? I don't think so. We've had good wins this season and good moments where we felt we could push on, and our consistency has been lacklustre, and we showed that we haven't been able to. But in terms of the performance, being able to go into that Liverpool game now, off of the back of that City performance, we know we can hang it with the best of them. And I truly do believe that we've got to do something again. You look at Liverpool, listen, me and Josh are getting in the studio and preview this, but they got some key names out. Big, important names for them. So we got a chance in that one now as well. Look, what did we learn from today? Well, I'll tell you the first thing. We learned that Axel Disasi and Levi Colwill are very, very capable and competent and good in general as a centre-back pairing. Really, really confident in that one there now. And it's nice, isn't it, knowing that when injuries ease up, if injuries ease up, you know, this is Chelsea we're talking about, but potentially you got Axel Disasi there. I'm going to touch on in a bit more detail. You got Levi Colwill, Badia Shield. Both of them he's looked like he's formed good partnerships with over the last couple of weeks. Who knows what Fofana's going to be like when he comes back. So, you know, life does go on without Thiago Silva, and I think this match has taught us that ever so slightly. Another thing we've learnt today, I've jotted this down. A lot of you will disagree with me, but I'm gonna say it on my chest. Nicholas Jackson is going to prove, come the end of this season, to be in the top 3 Bowley signings. Because I look at the Bowley signings so far, right? Disprove me if I'm wrong. Don't mean anything bad against Enzo Caicedo. Enzo's really coming good now. I'm really starting to level up, and I'm very pleased with him. But I think Enzo Caicedo, the fees they're brought in for, you maybe look at that. And Nkunku hasn't had a real run yet to be able to prove it. So I'm looking at Bowley signings so far, and I'm going Cole Palmer, Malo Gusto, Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson might not be the player that we thought he was going to be when we brought him in, and might not be our main source of threat when it comes to goals. But I tell you what, he's still threatening, and I really, really rate Nicholas Jackson, man. I think as his confidence grows, and I do very much think he'd be a confidence player, as his confidence grows, he's going to get better and better. Will he miss a sitter every now and again? Yes, he will. But I tell you what, fucking Erling Haaland missed 3 of them today. It can happen, right? Nicholas Jackson, very, very confident in his ability going forward. And I almost feel a little bit foolish for, you know, saying that Brower should have played ahead of him towards the start of the season when he was having a bit of a bad run, because now I'm really starting to see the quality shine through. Another thing I feel a little bit foolish about is the stance change now I'm having on Axel Disasi, because there was a point when I didn't think Axel Disasi was good enough for Premier League football, and now he's really proven me wrong. But I will say, to stick up for myself a little bit, how can I show any sort of consistency in my views and my outlook on this team when the team don't show any consistency? You know, it's very hard to do that. So of course we're going to feel deflated and beaten up in the games that we don't do well in, and then we're going to feel hyped up in the games that we do well in. But talking about doing well, Axel Disasi, so good today, man. So good in the last couple of matches. Really, really confident in him. And Axel Disasi is really showing his worth. Me and Josh had a chat about him and said, at the sort of start of next season, midway through next season, we're going to look at Disasi and he's going to be one of them centre-backs that comes better in his second season, as Rudiger did, as many players did. And Axel Disasi is one that I'm really, really excited about going forward. He was... Was he the man of the match? He was the man of the match today. Axel Disasi, man of the match. People, tell me your man of the matches. Who do you reckon? What else did we learn today? Gusto's a godsend. I know that. Because last season we were looking at it, sometimes playing Chalobah at right back when Reece weren't there. Sometimes we were playing Ruben Loftus-Cheek out of position there when Reece weren't there. And even this season, moving Cucurella over there. I was at the Fulham away game. We moved him over there. He done a good job there, to be fair. Axel Disasi. I was at a game where he played there as well. What was that? Blackburn in the Cup. And yeah, they've done an all right job, but not until now can we look at it and go, that's not a weak spot no more in Reece James's absentee. That's a strong position for us because Malo Gusto is the absolute daddy in that position. And yeah, he done really well today. Do you know what? The main thing I've learnt from today's performance, and I could be too early in saying this, but fuck it, I'm a YouTuber. Let's be reactionary. Chelsea are one or two senior heads away from being a team that seriously compete for Champions League football, because I just don't see the way that we can play like this against Man City. And I don't think there's any part of me that feels this Chelsea team is getting worse. Really weird to say this off the back of that performance, but this is us at rock bottom. And I don't mean this performance, I mean this season. This is us at rock bottom. Everyone's going to get better, man. Everyone's going to get better. Giorgio Petrovic is going to get better. Malo Gusto is going to get better. Levi Colwill, Axel Disasi are already getting better. They're going to get better. Ben Chilwell, I don't know if you'd argue that he's going to get better, but he's still a very good player. Enzo Caicedo partnership, that's going to get better. You look at the boys along the front line. Yeah, all right, Sterling might not be a long-term answer, but Jackson's going to get better. I think his ceiling is so high. Cole Palmer, we're just going to keep on pushing on, mate. We're going to get better and better as the games go on. And there's going to be a lot of hiccups in the road. There's going to be a lot of road bumps. There's going to be a lot of shit moments. But there will be some good ones too, starting next week at Wembley, where we take on Liverpool, where we beat Liverpool. And me and the big dog, Josh Aveste, will be live streaming this game. So make sure you're on the channel, you're in the super chats, you are interacting, and you can watch us, watch Chelsea, lift the FA Cup. The FA Cup? Not the FA Cup. It'd be good if we did lift the FA Cup in that one as well. Give us 2 for 1. Lift the League Cup, the Carling Cup, I like to call it, at Wembley. People, I'll tell you what I'm thinking of doing, right? I don't want to bang on for 20... Well, I am 20 already. I don't want to bang on for 20 more minutes, 40 minutes here. So I'm thinking a player ratings video. Do you think that's in order, or do you think a 1-1 draw doesn't deserve a specific player ratings? Because there's guys that I haven't touched on massively today, like Enzo Fernandez, Ben Chilwell's performance. We can speak about that. Obviously, like Levi Colwill. I've spoke about the credit I've given to Axel Disasi there because he was brilliant. But my God, he had a good player next to him in Levi Colwill, who's fitted back into this team after an injury perfectly. We saw returns of Trevor Chalobah today. We saw Cassidy come into the lineup, well, not the lineup, they're coming on as a sub, I should say, for the first time. And I want to speak about all these guys. So do you want a player ratings video tomorrow? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section. If you haven't already, smash the like button on this video. It helps me more than you could possibly imagine. People, I feel good tonight. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I don't want to be spoiled and only celebrate wins. I think, listen, I've said that wins are more important than performances sometimes, but maybe that's just because we've got the wins and not the performances. Maybe we play like today, I'll flip my stance on it and say something completely fucking different, because that is how we do it on this channel. People, smash the like button. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let me know if you want to play a ratings video tomorrow and I'll get that out for you. I will see you all in the next one.